So, hey, I saw Lisa Frankenstein. My wife and I actually got to see this as some part of a mystery viewing experience. We went to a theater and didn't know what we were seeing. But then the highly stylized, sort of shadow puppet-esque opening credits scene started happening, and I instantly knew it was Lisa Frankenstein. And it was fun. I was mostly excited to see this because I knew that this was the directorial debut of Zelda Williams, who is famously the daughter of the late, great Robin Williams. She's already a voice actress, among other things, and I was just generally curious to see how she, made the transition or the jump to film direction. Diablo Cody of Juno and Jennifer's Body fame also wrote the script, so take that how you will. But yeah, cute, fun little movie. It is very aware of what it is. And that level of self-awareness actually makes it kind of endearing. Even when it makes leaps in logic that normally would have irked me, it's very much a throwback movie and an ode to a lot of things that sort of operate in this tenuous realm of rationality. It's instantly obvious, for example, that this takes a lot of inspiration from Tim Burton, and there are some scenes that really, really look a lot like Edward Scissorhands. And there's this kind of fabulistic, fairy tale quality to some of the stuff that finds its way into the movie, where stuff just kind of happens, just because it needs to further the story in a meaningful way, and you end up just kind of forgiving it for that. There's also a lot taken from the silent era of film, and there's a lot of like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff like that thrown in. It's also a huge love letter to the 80s, which is a decade notorious for movies where the internal logic was sort of because reasons. A lot of drug use, probably. Also, Heathers. Like, a lot of Heathers stuff in this movie. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Probably. If any of that sounds good to you, you're in luck. There's a lot of it. Kathryn Newton is a very likable protagonist, even when she's not doing very likable things. And it looks like Cole Sprouse had a lot of fun playing a dead guy. Boy, does he love to shamble and groan in this movie. About the only lines he had to memorize. There's a narrative thread about being needlessly traumatized and victim blamed that kind of hits a little harder than you expect it to. There were actually a couple of scenes that bothered me quite a bit, especially when I knew it was about to happen, but your mileage may vary. It's PG-13, it doesn't do a ton, but boy, what it gets away with. The pacing, admittedly, not always great. Sometimes the second act just kind of feels like it's trying to find things to pad out the time, though that doesn't happen super often, just a couple of notable instances. Some creative choices feel a little off, some characterization feels a little strange, and some jokes don't always land. There's also some overacting that is meant to be sort of in the vein of like the silent film era, as I mentioned, even vaudeville, but sometimes that's endearing, sometimes it's just a little awkward. But it's cute. In that wink-wink pastel goth sort of way, so mostly works. It's worth a watch is what I'm trying to say. It's not going to set the world on fire. I don't know how award-winning it is, but it knows what it is. It's cute. You could do far worse. I've definitely seen worse movies before, even in this genre. It also probably helps that I was pleasantly surprised that this was the movie my wife and I were going to see, because when you play Russian roulette with movies, it could literally be anything. And for a while there, sitting in there waiting for the movie to start, I was actually kind of afraid we were going to see a stinker, which is why they didn't tell us what it was. Could have been worse, I guess. It could have been Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, or whatever it was. I don't know that my brain could handle that.